Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Patriots getting ready on offense. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Now let's give you a look here at the New England offense.
It's a quick turnaround right out of the gate because there's a lot to cover in a short period of time. But the best teams, they simplify before they go play that Thursday night game. And they also believe it's way better to get your Thursday night game out of the way early before the body has been through too much. So if you ask people on scheduling, they want to play it early, not late.
Well, look now at our starting defense. They come into this one rounding out the top 10 in the 10 spot against the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to it. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
The Patriots send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. 30, the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Josh Jacobs, 79 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And on the first drive, 3-and-out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On 2nd and 2, Winston nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down.
Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Let's go.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
And we expected to have already talked about this unit. We didn't get a chance to hit on the opening drive because they scored so quickly. But that's the kind of unit this is. A quick strike offense. I expect to see them taking their shots all game long. And if that's the case, we'll find ways to talk about this group.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Hunter Renfrow, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Michelle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Nassib, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
Jameis to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys? Coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night, guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
51, Mike.
On first down, Fields. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And quickly, let's check out the New England defense.
Dante Hightower is a prototypical run-stuffing inside linebacker who has the ability to go to the edge and rush the passer, and there's no better example than when he had the strip sack against Matt Ryan in Super Bowl 51.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
On 1st and 10, Fields. And he slings one that's incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Single.
Throwing again. Fields. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. The numbers for him from a week ago. 6 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Fields dumping it off for Johnson. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Winston. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. From the gun, Winston. And that one taken in by Lashley. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
The Patriots send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Yards on the return that time, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. To throw on 2nd down. Fields. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Throwing on 1st down. Fields. Johnson's got it complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in this 1st quarter. It's 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. If they want a 1st, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Fields. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 16.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this 1st half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Off play action. Fields. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Jeremy Sprinkle, his 1st touchdown of the new season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race. plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays, and it ends with an Oakland touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On the ground, this is Michel. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing, Winston. That's out to his running back, Michel. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. Nothing our score after 1. The Patriots send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Space to maneuver at the 40. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. What a boost for this offense that he can throw in a run like that after the success that he's had throwing the football.
I love that, being able to mix in something a little bit different just when you're starting to think that's all you're going to see. He changed it up, flipped the script on him, and boy, did it work to his offense's benefit.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
You can't block me.
Counter play with Jacobs. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Mike
2nd and 3. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain there of 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On first down, Fields. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. On second down now, it's Jacobs. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And Lutz's kick is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now out come the Patriots. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Winston. Open man is Lashley. That's complete. 17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a first down. Now a first down carry. It's Michelle. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. From just shy of midfield, Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. The rookie first-rounder, Jonathan Abram, there to knock it away. New England on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
The Patriots send out their punter as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Nice move on the play, but he will be brought down shy of the 15. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Single slot.
On 1st and 10, Fields underneath for Johnson. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. 2nd and 9 now. And the catch made by Johnson.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Back to throw. Fields. Screenplay. Johnson. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Patriots take over. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah.
Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. They'll run on first down. Michel. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down now, Michel. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Winston. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. The Patriots send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. They've sort of epitomized balance. I mean, he's thrown the ball pretty well. They've run the ball well. Got to be pretty happy over on that sideline.
Takes a lot of pressure off, doesn't it? As much as those guys back there want to throw the ball around and be the focal point, when you're able to run it well and hold the defense back from their pass rush, it allows you to throw it as well as we're seeing so far in this game.
Yeah, now they'll be looking to add to their lead here in the 2nd quarter. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Looking to throw. Fields. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Damon Harrison bringing in 341 pounds of power for the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. 2nd and 15. And got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. To throw again. Fields. The open man here, Renfro. He'll be hit down at the 33. 5 yards on the play. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Fields. This will be caught inside the 10. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Come on here, come get some.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. 2nd and 4. That's going to be caught by Williams for a Raiders touchdown. Tyrell Williams. His first touchdown here of the new campaign as his guys continue to pour it on. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Lutz good on the extra point, and a route is on here in this first half. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. To throw is Winston. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw again on second down. Winston. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
The Patriots send out their punter. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And it's been a good game for him to this point, Charles. They're winning on the scoreboard. They got to be feeling pretty good.
And it's always fun for them when they're not just winning on the scoreboard, but they're contributing in a big way. You see him throwing touchdown passes, watching this video here. It's got to be a fun time for him and a relaxed time because nothing is pressing.
Relaxed, cool, calm, collective, all those things describing him right now. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a moment. But first, the NFL season is in full swing. Let's show the good folks what we've got in store for us later this weekend here in Week 2. In the early window on Sunday, one of the best happens up in Pittsburgh. A big one for the Steelers, as they'll have to do battle with the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Out on the West Coast, more good stuff in the late afternoon, as we'll be watching the one down in Carson, where it'll be the Chargers taking on the New York Giants. And then finally, we wrap up the week with a good one on Monday Night Football between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch 54. You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. to throw on second down. Fields. And this one's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Fields, complete. It's Johnson. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Oakland. And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And it's Michel once again.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Off the play fake, Winston. Got his man, that's Harry. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the draw, here's Michel. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough.
Ready, black 25. Check, 53's Mike. Bound to lose one. Switch.
On first down, Brooks. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Brooks. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. On third down, Winston looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination. Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Watch the edge.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for second down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exact.
Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Patriots. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And the Patriots gearing up to go now.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he's got this down to the 35. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. Here's Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Here's second and 10 now from the 35. Jameis to throw it. And a quick throw here. That's complete. The second down completion got him 7. Now here's third and 3. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. The kick by McManus is good. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off, and they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
So the Patriots coming out now. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw, Winston. And he's got an open man. It's Gronkowski. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a New England first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Winston now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Harris. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. To throw on 2nd and 6. Winston quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. Looking for Gronkowski, and he's got him complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Come on now, let's go.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Jadeveon Clowney, his 2nd sack of the night.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. That's taken in by Hansen, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Winston. This is caught. Gronkowski. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Watch that.
3rd and short yardage. Winston. He may try and run for this. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And McManus able to put it through. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs. He scored on the ground and through the air as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but his top 2 options were not available on that throw, so he went the safe route. Worked out pretty well.
It was like you were in the pocket. How about you going through the progressions like that? What a lot of offenses say, touchdown to check down. Look downfield first, bring it back to the line of scrimmage. Not easy for a rookie to do. Oftentimes they get one look, and they make their decision off of that. He went through 3. That was impressive.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. 1 play, 75 yards, 6 points. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken at his 4. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased, and they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll give him 8 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now Winston on 4th down. And it is incomplete. The Patriots come up empty on 4th down. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, Why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit. Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Made his first. This now from 40. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on fourth, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the number 1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own side.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. And that one taken in by Lashley. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down. First down, Winston. It's brought in by Harris. And he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. Marcus Cannon, the guilty party there. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Winston. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. Winston now from the 50. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And a loose football, and the Raiders pick it up.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction, because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Come to my world. We want it. Come to
They run it with Jacobs. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
We got three, fellas. We got three.
On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. The football comes out. Jacobs lost it. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? On 2nd down, Winston again. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
The Patriots send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
On second down now. It's Jacobs, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Raiders on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. Not at all what they envisioned on third down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, if there got to be casualties at times, we're trying to win a game.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Working out of the gun, Winston. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Winston. And he'll find Lashley there. It's complete. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Winston now. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw is Winston. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Jordan Lasley, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Patriots make some inroads here on that deficit.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that will cut this lead down to 25. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
Watch tight. Tight ends right. Watch tight. Tight ends right.
And the Raiders 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down. Jacobs. A gain of 3, 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 43-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs from the gun, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for Oakland, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for New England, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll try to get back on track.